Kicker Dustin Hopkins set to get this one going. And off we go from Cleveland. Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Well, the Titans ready to take over on offense for the first time, and it is the now 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill who leads them out in his 12th NFL campaign.
Those who expected Ryan Tannehill to go quietly into the night after the Titans drafted Will Levis, well, they clearly don't know this man well at all. He's a fighter and former comeback player of the year and expects to have his best season yet as a pro in this campaign.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Henry. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give Henry another shot. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Titans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the 3-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his 2nd season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
Just 6 games played for Watson in his debut season with the Browns, which really limited how much he could step into the franchise quarterback role for the team. But he gets a full slate to do so this season. Remember, his last year in Houston, over 4,800 yards. They expect excellence from him.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They will start this drive with 4, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The handoff to Ford up the middle. A little juke. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. But Deshaun Watson, and when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, oh, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield. And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that 1st drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. He finds Hopkins complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this one is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It was Myles Garrett that time who got in there and brought him down.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback, and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
you were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
After the penalty, it's Henry. There he goes, right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Another powerful run and another workhorse season in the books for Henry. Let's take a peek at his numbers. He's led the NFL in carries and topped 1,500 yards for the 3rd time in 4 years. In addition, 5th straight year with double-digit touchdowns.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw is on target to Burks. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He gets it to Burks again. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Browns 7-yard line.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Tannehill now to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Chigakakwo from 6 yards away. And the Titans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Folk connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. Now Watson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Two drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On fourth down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. This is taken at the 23. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Titan football. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Here's 3rd and 6. Here's Tannehill. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in the second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Cleveland offense making their way out. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover, as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. After the interception, here's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now a 2nd and 2. Here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Here's Watson. They'll get it inside the 20, and he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range as well, down at the 17-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. His throw caught right around the 6. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Watson now to throw. Oh, he stays up. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
And Deshaun Watson shows off his mobility yet again. Just 1 touchdown rushing in 6 starts last season. But the way that he moves around, if receivers are covered, he'll tuck it and go as he did there.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make our score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 41-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Well, indeed, start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Second and 10. Tannehill. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
Folks' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Derrick Henry, as he normally does, making his impact felt in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is Ford. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They run with Ford. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
To throw is Watson. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him, because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field. A big play that time for the Titans. 44 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. A timeout for an injured player, and it looks like it's Traylon Burks who's in some discomfort out there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. Powering forward. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now it's Tannehill. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Chigakonkwo, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
3rd quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. He'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defense in front. because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And that is incomplete here.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Tannehill. That's to the sideline and pulled in. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. They'll try the right side with Henry. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. On 3rd down, Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Inside handoff, Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
To throw is Tannehill. Being chased out left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Watson. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the school...
Taking it right down Broadway. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fella.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
A credit the tackle to Juan Thornhill.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 6. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Holding offense.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 147 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A first down carry for Henry. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just